Hello, my name's Irv. I'm with KAGE Innovation here in the R&D department. This morning we are going to install this under-hitch system onto this 3046r John Deere tractor. This uses our micro kicker or lightweight kicker. We have no skid plate. Our front mount is still the same as what we've been using in all of our other videos and for all of our other tractors. Typically I would measure out from drawbar to the front mount before I start, but with this unit, because of a height restriction in the back, we're going to fasten where the drawbar fastens. So normally we would bolt to our drawbar, but because of the way this is designed, we're going to bolt right where the drawbar pulls from. So I'm just going to remove our anchor pin because we're going to be using that hole with a bolt a little bit later here. So I'm going to start with our front mount, fastening it on here. This is getting fastened with 6 1/2-inch bolts. I'm just going to take one and stick it in, get it hanging. And the mount always mounts. So far, I haven't found a tractor we don't mount it standing up. So this mount has fit almost every single tractor with just mild modifications. So it's going to be one mount, it looks like. I'm just going to get all the other bolts stuck in and started, then I'll ram them tight. I'm just going to tighten them up now. Okay, our front mount is on. Now we're going to start installing the under-hitch assembly. So as you can see, I've just got it laid out on some blocks here. I know for this tractor it's going to be as short as possible because I have had it installed, and this is such a small tractor. So I'm going to start out by installing our kicker to the front mount. Now I've laid out our bolts for this stuff ahead of time, so I wasn't just walking around for you guys doing this. The overall design of our under-hitch system, it's designed so that all the weight hangs on the front up here and all of the push goes back to your drawbar of your tractor where it's designed for your pull or push. So okay, now this is a new part we designed for this tractor to fasten our sway links to. We got this slot here. This is where all the hoses are going to run through here. You can just drop them in and slide them to the side. Drop them in. We'll have 6 hoses running through this. And like I said, I know where this goes. I have it off. I wanted you to see this at this time, so I'm going to fasten it right here. I'm going to mount our front cylinder mounts here while it's off. Now this one bolt here is a little on the tight side sliding in. You got to get the hex just right. And slide her through. And then the back one here, we have some flat washers also because it's got a slotted hole in it. So on this side I already have our U-bolt installed. I'm going to install this one over here now because it gets really tight to install. And your hoses, these are for hose guide. So I'm just poking it through. And I like to put a jam nut on the inside here. So all we do is just use enough of this and have minimal clearance because it gets pretty tight in there. So I just have the nut so it's in the lock, and then I'll do the rest of the tightening on the outside. There, that's that. The reason I put this on first before mounting the hitch to the tractor is because when you drive up onto this, you can see this and it'll help guide you in. I am going to install this bolt up here just to, this is just to keep these from spreading or whatever. So all you do is tighten it enough so that it holds it in place. There. Now I'm going to drive the tractor up on it. So now I'm just going to lift this up with the jack. Now all you need is a floor jack to install these. So, see how it slid forward there? And see, we're touching right here. So I'm just going to drop about 1/4 of a hole there. And now I'm lined right up for the bolt to go through. Get the nut started. Now you can see I'm just a little bit cocked here, so I'm going to just bring it over center. Bring it up close there, get rid of my blocks so them are out of my way. That bolt goes up through, and don't have room for the impact with this one, so we do it by hand. Again, everything we do here mostly is self-locking nuts. I could have this drawbar slid out so it could be accessible to use for other stuff now, but we use a 3-point sprayer on this tractor, and this hitch is going to stay on the tractor for a while. And so I have to slide the drawbar in one hole just so our 3-point stuff clears here. Good and tight. Our under hitch is basically mounted. Now we're going to go to our sway links. So as I was explaining, that front bolt, that holds all of our weight of your plow and everything. Our drawbar takes all the push, but there still can be a little bit of a wobble in this. So that's what these are. These are our sway links to absorb that movement. So I'm taking these fit a few different tractors. Each tractor will have just a few different pieces, but this fits several tractors. We're going to mount it on here to where the loader would have mounted. I'm going to push it in tight as I can get it. Then our sway link is going to go from here to here. So on this side of the tractor, I actually have the sway link going up to the top link to give more clearance to our quick attach hoses here. In a little bit you'll see why. Down here it interferes too much with the hoses. Now the other side we're going to do it the opposite way because there's some oil lines that it'll interfere with. So I'm just going to lightly install this at this time. I'm just going to leave them like that for now until we get the hoses in case I have to pull it off just for a second to snap hoses in. But now we're going to go to the other side. I've already got our bracket installed on the loader part here. And again, it's just to install the arm. So where I said we were going to have a clearance issue on this side, you can see this rate. Well, it's a cooling line of some sort or an oil supply line, I'm not sure, but it's very close. So when I said before I added a 1/2 inch on this bracket, it was just to give us a little more clearance here because I thought it was a little too tight. And when you install these, which way you put the bolt, which way you put the nut is kind of irrelevant other than what you think looks the best or is convenient for fit up. So this one I know is going to stay here, so I'm going to just tighten it in. And then I'm going to turn this just so the rod is sticking out there. We don't want that to be able to come into the tire. So we've got this installed. I do have to tighten that nut. Okay, that bolt that doesn't tighten on the frame, it just tightens to the bottom of the threads and it floats a little bit. We're good with that. This, we got our rock shaft pin now installed. So these can be a little bit of a pain on the, if you're using an impact to put them on, they bounce around a lot. I recommend putting a little lubrication on these bolt threads and the nut. Now this thing's kind of a beast, so I'm just holding this in right now. And there, she's tight, and that's a self-locking nut on there. So that's the installation of the framework of the under-hitch. Now we're going to start doing the hydraulics. So we have these here universal mount brackets, a manifold, hydraulic manifold. So this one sit together. This is going to operate off of our joystick in the tractor. It'll be on the right side of the tractor. On this one, we'll have 2 couplers in it, and I'll show how we install them. And and these holes are for putting an electric plug-in for accessories. So both of them have 2 holes for that. So we got lots of ability with these brackets. There isn't much room for a socket on these, so these get done by hand. So I've already installed this bulkhead nipple into our couplers. And it's just a pipe thread fitting there, an 08 pipe thread fitting or 1/2 inch pipe. And I did that with using Teflon tape. These I'm going to use our top 2 holes here. Put these on. And when I installed them, I installed our plugs at the same time that go on so you can cap our fittings. Now you want these very tight. So now on this tractor we're going to run 4 hydraulic lines to our midpoint hydraulics, which is our joystick for loader control, to this side, and we're going to run 2 long lines all the way to the back, and that'll run their hydro clamps on your plow. So on these hoses, we're using a little different hose here than we use on the undercarriage. Because of this sway link being so tight, we're running 90s on our fittings here. So we have this hose, it's one of our stock hoses in our shop. We like to use stuff that's stock so we're not stocking more inventory. I put a JIC, a pipe thread 08 adapter, and then it goes to just a standard ag male fitting. So on these, I'm just going to And I kind of cheated here for my purposes. I numbered all my stuff to which port they go on. And I recommend everybody number their fittings back here. So if you're gonna drop your undercarriage off and disconnect it, the next time you connect, you know, this stuff will all be connected up here, but you're gonna pop this and instead of figuring out which one goes where, number them or color them so you can just snap in, bang, 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 and it sure makes your job a lot easier. So, like I said, I cheated a little to make it easier for me. And I'm gonna run these hoses. Actually, I think I'm gonna pop this out of my way to make it easier. Just let that hang. And I can bring the hoses through here. And these are gonna come through this U-bolt to help guide the hoses. So I have a number 4, that's going to be on the bottom here. I just numbered 1, 2, 3, 4 from top to bottom for convenience. So I have these hoses started. I'm not going to tighten these at this time because we'll be twisting the hose around to get the couplers and everything to line up real nice. So I'm going to install them back here now and try to get them all in right. And as I do these, I am going in to our hose guide that's in the mid. So now I'm just going to twist this and it'll twist around. And like I said, I numbered these so I know where they go. I numbered the couplers to match up. There, that's that. So them 4 are hooked up. I can now do it. So each end has 10 degrees of angle you can go. So we can put this in the front here. And then we make it back here. And that's why I had to adjust it a little in length earlier. I was wondering what I did. And then we have the clearance we need on these hoses. And this bolt should be going in from the other side. Make it easier. Must be a little burr on there from being in and out before. So. Okay, now them will be able to be tightened up, but our hoses are in place, so I'm going to tighten our hoses right now because I really hate hydraulic leaks. Sway link bolts. So typically when you're pushing, it's going to cause this to raise. So I want just a drop of down pressure on these. And that's where we're going to go. Now we're going to put our 2 hoses that go to the back. This requires a little crawling around. And these don't matter which way they hook up, pretty much any which way. So let's start there. I'm just going to get around our sway link and not in the holder yet. I'm just going to pull through, try to get some extra to go back by the tire and just drag them out a ways. I'm going to leave those set. I don't want to hook them up yet because if there's some hydraulic oil in the line, it might run out. So I'm going to hook up to the front first. Okay, I'm going to push these through and get them into the inner or the midpoint guide there that's in the sway bracket. And get these hoses so they're guided in the channel all the way. And then we just hook up. And I believe our installation is all done. Now we're ready to attach a plow and go plowing.